Oh, yeah.
All right, let's start with that. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back, Mega Late Show. Robinson Mega here, Grand Mega Flowers. If you're watching this on the Secret House Against the World channel, this is my Tokyo-based hip-hop art and culture podcast. I've been doing this for like 6 years on and off. COVID kind of slowed things down, but peace and greetings to you. Today I've got two special guests. Man, I got the legendary DJ Quietstorm.
DJ Quietstorm, what's up, y'all?
Yeah, DJ Quietstorm. If you guys don't know him, then you lacking. Representing Tokyo, Nakameguro, Living Legends crew.
It's my first time back here for probably 4 years or so.
It probably has been at least 4 years, but yeah, man, he's one of the people who's largely responsible for getting the Living Legends out here in the early 2000s, late 90s, right?
Late 90s.
Yeah, you were along the ride for a lot of the early Mystik Journeymen shit, produced a lot of those beats. Go back and listen to that episode that we recorded because we had some real OG homies in there, and man, we found out like, you made that beat? Oh my god, like I was listening to that when I was 16. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just a good time. But he is one of the legends out here, even in Tokyo, and celebrating the 25th anniversary of the hip hop event Tight.
Yes,
bro. 25 years for a single event is pretty amazing, especially in Tokyo. And I want to give you your props for that.
Thank you, bro.
To hold that down. That's you in what?
Me and DJ S started up this party every Friday night at a club in Shibuya that doesn't even exist anymore.
Okay.
25 years ago, and we never expected to be here 25 years later still doing it. But we've switched homes probably 7 or 8 times during those 25 years. So we spend a year or two here, a year or two there.
You're at Club Asia?
Tonight we're this weekend we're Club Asia. That's what we've been doing it lately. But but we went from Cave to Yellow to Air to Asia to I can't even remember all the.
You sound like the evolution, like we went from a cave to Yellow to the air to Asia.
Fire.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. No, that's man, it really is it really is quite a spectacular feat. You know, I've seen so many events come and go. For example, Brooklyn Terry, who was doing Speakeasy, you know, he's leaving, he's going back to New York.
They had a good run.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Also what is it, the Breakdown? There was at Coins Bar, was going like 12 years strong. A lot of really dope. And what I love about it is these are the places where the kind of organic hip hop culture emerges. This is where people are going in. They're not just fans watching, they're also participants, and all the people in there, you meet, you know each other, you collab with each other, and build friendships, and you've been right there the whole time. Also, you be bringing out cats. I heard Grouch was out here.
He was out here last year for Tight.
Damn, bro, I didn't know, cause I don't.
You know, Reverie too.
Okay, yeah.
She did.
I'm so whack, bro. Yeah. I just don't do social media, so unless somebody's like, "Yo, Meg, go," you know, I don't know what's happening. So, man, I heard he was out here, and then it was just like, damn, the day I found out about it was the night of the event, and I couldn't make it for some reason.
Got kids too.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Grouch perform since maybe 2006.
Wow.
I think it was around the time he was doing the collaborative album with Zion I. Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace. But you know, during like you brought out Grouch. Last time I went to the event, Elder Sensei was here.
Yeah, that's right.
You brought out Elder Sensei for that. And this time you also brought another longtime collaborator, homie, LA Underground alumni. Fucking, we talking about lifetimes, and we just found out we about the same age, so we sharing a lot of the same experience. Now, herein lies a little bit of my problem in trying to find you and see if other homies knew who you were, because it's Omni on some, it's omnipresent on some, and now it's IAMOMNI, right? Because I was like, you know, Omni is kind of like a common name, but not a common name. You know what I mean? Like I've known graph writers that wrote Omni.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the evolution of that was I used to have a hard time online with it, so so I had to find some, you know, a way to separate myself from like the hotels, whatever. Whenever I look at myself up, I was on like the 8th page, right?
Yeah.
So I was just going through some names, and I was like, you know what,
can I have you get more on the mic?
Yeah, absolutely. It was I ended up at IAMOMNI.
I like that.
And then I ended up going to and got the IAMOMNI.com, so it just worked out for me. And there was no presence of IAMOMNI on the page, so it kind of flowed. And plus, the way it looks, you know, it doesn't sound great, but the way it looks on text, it's very symmetrical. So like it's all one line. It's a 7-1.
That shit looks tight. I was like, oh, that's a good name change, because when I was trying to do my research, I was just like, come on, bro. I was like, where are you? You know, I reached out to my homie Paulie Rom, and he's like, Omni, is that the, you know, does he work with? And this is like, nah, I don't know. Like, I don't know which Omni this is.
Paulie Rob, we went to, me and Paulie Rob went to Inglewood together. It's funny. We just reconnected. We used to ditch school every single day.
You talking about Paulie Rhyme out in Honda right now?
Oh, you said Paulie Rhyme.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. There's a Paulie Rob.
See, there's another. I was like, I knew somebody knew somebody, but okay.
Nah, there's a Paulie Rob right now, and he's really doing his thing. He actually made the beat, I believe, back in the day for "Teach Me How to Dougie."
Oh shit.
Yeah, and but he's doing a lot of hip hop stuff with like the Jay Worthy and those guys, and ETS, and I didn't think they affiliate with the Griselda guys.
Yeah.
So they're doing a lot of cool stuff, and he went to Inglewood. So I thought that's who you were talking about.
Okay. Well, see, this is another thing. Like, well, first off, I want to give you your props and your flowers, man. Gershwin BLX, Baseline Excursion.
Yeah.
Y'all have been doing it for a long time. I was listening to the 96, 97 tape. Vocabutrap.
Yeah, it's a classic.
And I was like, yo, this is exactly that temperament that I like. That's the right room temperature drink that I like. You know what I mean? Like perfect for me. That kind of, lo-fi, DIY, underground, independent, rapping about being dope at rapping hip hop shit. You know?
Yep.
That's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what I came into the culture with.
Yeah.
And I do want to get more into that. But there's one more cat I wanted to see, because you got a cat in the crew that is named DJ C Brown.
Oh yeah.
But I have a homie named C Brown as well.
Okay.
But he spelled it CEE Brown.
Yeah, that's
the same cat.
He's from LA, right?
Yeah,
that's C Brown.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah. I met C Brown through Phonics, who's Phonics, the producer out here and shit. And he came through the show maybe about 5-6 years ago, maybe. But we only acquaintances through meeting and him coming and rocking on the show. But he a real proper dope producer, DJ. He's out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I wonder
if it might be the same.
Should be.
But he a LA cat for sure. Yeah. Born and bred, like out there. And okay, you see, this is the wonderful thing. But it's a huge world. We got 8 billion people, but hip hop community though,
True.
we closer than Kevin Bacon when it comes to a lot of shit. There's been so many times where, like, even my homie Paulie Ron, we had Sano, the infamous graph writer, from Cleveland coming through, and I was like, oh, he from Cleveland, maybe he know Paulie. So I hit up Paulie, and he was just like, yo, he just left my house. And I was like, that's how close it be, that's how close it be.
How I got to know Paulie is because a friend of mine from high school, an international school here in Tokyo, knew him from the States for some reason. He's like, yo, my friend Paulie's gonna move to Japan. You guys should hook up. And that's
he's dope. Him and his crew, Finless Brown, they were like a kind of like a breakestra, like live instrumentation, kind of like the Roots. But his wife is also Moto. She's also a singer, so it was kind of like rapper, singer, hip hop beat band performance joints. And he used to do a lot of promotion and shit too. So but that's what the point I was really getting at is, like, number one, I found it hard to find information on you, and I'm glad you sorted it out with the dope name change. And number two, man, we be connected.
Yeah, I took a break from making music, touring really, and went into just doing film and television, doing placements. Oh, so right now I'm actually back out, getting it back started. So there's a big gap from probably
2008
exactly to now, really, and I just kind of been going through life, and then just back out now. So there's probably a little gap of information, but during that time I released some a few things.
Okay. Yeah. I was looking a little bit through the catalog, and I gotta say, like, maybe my favorite song from you is also my favorite song from you. Is because I just really like that Bang the Drum shit because it starts off so tight, and I told you last time, whenever I hear that, I be like, that shit is tight. Here we go. Hold on. Let me play it. now whenever I say some shit is tight, that's what I think of right there, and I actually say it like that. That shit is tight. And I also, that's just a dope name for a event. Like, yeah, I'm going fucking tight. We trying to put together an event, and we don't got a good name like that yet. We talking about Black Home Depot. We don't know if it's gonna work. We don't know if it's gonna work out. But yeah, man, you and your crew have been putting it down for such a long time. I know I've heard your guys' stuff, but I'm not certain when or where. I kind of feel like you guys had a placement on an back in the day, the freestyle session videos, which were the breaking event across one. At the end of them, they used to be edited by a cat named Brian Bell, who was an aggressive rollerblader. He used to grind the rails. They got flack back in the day, but because of that, there was a proximity between the breaking culture and the aggressive rollerblading culture. So at the end of a lot of these freestyle session tapes, you would have like a 30-minute tape of aggressive rollerblading cats who were, it was all mixed in with 4-element hip hop. They got graph writing in it. It's got breaking, and they would have like, Aceyalone, All Balls Don't Bounce on it. And I'm almost certain that y'all had one track on one of those videos back in the day. And it's hard to say because like so much music from back then that was released by us, dubbing tapes and sharing tapes and selling just tapes, a lot of that shit got lost to time because we just didn't have the...
Nobody's got a VHS player
My first album was recorded on like a digital 4-track, and them
ADAT
what I mean? Remember we was using like the Sony mini disc in order just to get the shit onto the computer because ain't nobody had an M box or whatever $500 piece of equipment. But like so much of it is lost, and YouTube is a really beautiful resource for that. And I was going back listening to the catalog. And I'm like, man, fucking. I expected you to be a little bit older, to be honest, because you were like, I guess at the time, if I was really serious about it, I probably would have content like that too. But I expect you to be maybe about 5 or 6 years older than me, just because it's like you guys, your album, Sunch Punch, right? Yeah. It sounded so polished, and nobody that I knew that was making music like that back then sounded that polished. So when did you get into kind of hip hop? Well, first, damn, I'm all over the place. You grew up in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, yeah.
Inglewood.
No, I grew up pretty much all over Los Angeles. I'm like a West LA cat. I got my grandmother lived in Inglewood. So after I didn't do so well at Hamilton, I had to go
shout out.
Which was actually I ditched so much that they didn't want me to go. So I had to go live with my grandmother. And that's when I went to Inglewood. And then I went from Inglewood. They tried to send me to Inglewood continuation. And I was like, I'm cool. So I'm going to go to, and then I ended up at Westchester.
Okay.
And then I graduated from like Santa Monica Adult School. So I did like a big ass square from Hamilton, Inglewood, Westchester, back to, if you know LA's grid, you know that that's a big square. So yeah, all over LA really.
Okay. And, for me at the time, I feel like we were in that transitional period of hip hop culture, right? There was a lot of finally cats were getting the ability to create music at their house and make it more DIY. And that started to be a respected part of hip hop's output and the, I would say, primary location of hip hop at the time. Like we had music on the radio, but that's associated with like fandom and things outside of your region. During the like 96 to maybe 2002, there was this kind of underground DIY independent explosion where, especially on the West Coast, you had cats like, of course, Souls, Hyro, Freestyle Fellowship, and up in the Bay, you even have like more other crazy cats like Jedi Knight Circle and just Global Flotations and Log Cabin Crew and all of these
10 Base T,
you know what I mean? Like so Shapeshifters crews, and they were all like primarily where hip hop was. Now, I feel like my generation, and I guess you too, I feel like we are the last of the 4-element keep it real hip hop kids.
Bullseye.
It's been a strange thing for me to kind of wrap my head around, because when I meet somebody even a little older like you, their experience of it is different too. But for us, there was a very hard line kind of philosophical fuck the mainstream. we're counter to that. We're not about that. The things you're talking about are not things that we would actually want in the culture. Like growing up in LA, I despised when I saw somebody listen to West Side Connection and becoming a gangster. Yeah. We got enough gangsters already, bruh. You don't need to try hard. Like, I know you. And in the 4 element, the participatory aspect of it is what drew me in. And that's why I don't say like, all hip hop culture is my culture, because I ain't got no claim on the word woody, period, at all. I'm not from there. But if you're talking about participatory subcultures that are emerging in a community, that's where I come from. 4 element hip hop shit.
Absolutely.
So how did you get into it? I got into it through breaking. And graffiti I mean the music obviously, but
all of that was around, you know, like when I don't know if you heard of an artist named Coffee. My first time I saw a graffiti piece from an artist named Coffee in Los Angeles, I was 8 years old, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, oh, this is cool. It was kind of like a b-boy with a hat, and he had a microphone, and I just knew I liked it. And then I started writing poetry, and then I started, my older brother is from a crew called BLX, from Gershwin, and he invited me into the group. So I found his rhyme book when he went off to upstate. So I found his rhyme book, and I was
like, that shit is tough.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I found his rhyme book, and then I just started. I started to practice over beats, and when he came home, he took me around his crew, and we all got along. So that's how I joined BLX. Okay. And then so I was.
You're like the kid.
I was the youngest always, So on Sunch Punch, I'm the little dude in the middle, surrounded by all of these.
Here's a picture now.
Yeah. And then but what was really cool about that was the 4 elements. Like hip hop back then had you had not everyone could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it had like codes of entry. Like, you know, like if your shirt back then, right now, I'm just following the trend, but back then, your shorts had to go past your kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't just, not everybody was just hip hop. Like, you had to, back then it was kind of like an unsaid code of entry to it. And like right now, everybody's doing it, you know? So that experience that I had with the 4 elements was really cool. And I think that, you know, as you're right, there's different people have different experiences in hip hop. And I really cherish mine. And the way I came up with it.
Our barriers of entry were just different. It's like, especially growing up in California, it's so multicultural, right? Like you Samoans, Mexicans, cats who you don't even know where they come from, you know what I mean? They just look different. But I remember back in the day, I would travel to a different city and get spotted and be like, yo, you break? And it'd be like, which one? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like it was like there was a barrier of entry. There's a barrier of entry, I suppose, to most things back then. You know what I mean? If you want to be a goth kid or whatever, you got to look like a goth kid, I suppose. Right. But with hip hop, the primary barrier of entry is like, are you doing hip hop? Right. You know what I mean? Are you a hip hop human being person? I remember the shit back then was like, I am hip hop. Which you're not gonna catch me saying now, but I very much is a part of my DNA.
Absolutely.
I would never be pretentious enough to be like, well, whatever I do is hip hop because you know I am hip hop. Yeah. But there was that kind of ethos, and I just remember it being a little bit different. Like now, I feel like the barriers of entry have kind of changed in a lot of ways. Even with DJing, you download an app on your phone, you DJ now. You get a thing, you DJ now. The reason I didn't DJ is because I ain't have no money for those. You know what I mean? Or the reason I didn't produce is because I didn't have no money for these. The addiction
problem with records.
Especially
money. Every song costs money.
I mean, and then back then it's like if you wanted to find something dope to loop, you had to figure it out. And if you found something super dope, you wanted to keep a secret. So that was your sound. And a lot of that has changed for a variety of reasons, but that kind of 4 element hip hop culture, like I was saying, I do feel like we were the last, and I feel like we were the ones that were fighting to like keep hip hop, like, I don't want to say real because I really hate the context of what is real and what is not when it comes to hip hop, but we were really on some like keep hip hop. Like don't allow it to be McDonaldized and turned into this other thing.
So from an LA perspective, it was more like the gangsters used to laugh at the hip hop artists. Not only laugh, but we used to get jumped by gangsters all the time. You know what I mean? So right now there was a separation. There was gang culture and there was hip hop culture. And right now it's very blurred and you can't tell the difference between the two. But back then, you know, hip hop was a way for us to escape that and get away, maybe have an opportunity to get out of our situations. So, you know, my experience in hip hop has just, you know, from the 4 elements and all that stuff, and it seems like it's gone. It feels like the culture's ripped out of it, and it's just kind of, you know, that can come from the labels too, and that's how I
think it's pretty easy to draw a clear line to what we would call like the neoliberalization of hip hop and everybody turning into an entrepreneur and wanting to be the product and wanting to sell, and also the confluence of ownership from the studios and what they think sells and pushing certain artists, and us not having DJs anymore, because I mean we've always had DJs, but on the radio corporations were they purchased up all the radio stations, and you know there's a lot of things to it, and I don't really want to harp on like hip hop was good then and it's not good now, because I don't agree with that. I think hip hop has been extremely dope my entire life. It has a much different shape and feel now and form, but there is still this kind of lineage for certain types of hip hop music.
Absolutely.
And the one that we kind of all were around and grew up with is still a very strong branch in hip hop, and it's not the only branch, but it is the one that, like I said, I feel like we're the last of the 4 element kids.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
After that, backpackers became a backpacker was somebody that listened to the hip hop we grew up on, or was influenced by the hip hop we grew up on, and they were kind of not hard. Backpackers were kind of like the nerds, like the conscious rap guys, which I don't recall any of us ever saying, yeah, I like conscious hip hop. You go back and listen to conscious hip hop, and it's like Common is calling people the F slur and all types of shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, how conscious are you? But you know, like, but yeah, I don't know. What do you?
It's funny. I remember Merce saying one thing. Merce is, you know, Merce would maybe considered as a conscious hip hop artist, no? But I remember him back in the day, him telling me, he was like, because we were talking, you know, back in the day thinking about doing something together, and he was like, see, we like B-boys, but we ain't no punks. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stuck out. So you had like the you know, you had the dudes that were like, I like hip hop, but I ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, you know, we can go there with you the same way. But
shit, all the B-boys I know whoop your ass because we've been doing body weight push-ups all day. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, we was hard. My backpack had all types of shit in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you had to carry that energy, you know, at the same time, because there's other elements involved around, especially in LA, you know?
Yeah, it was, you know, skateboard culture was getting really big, and even skateboarding culture looks different now. I guess, you know, Tony Hawk Pro Skater changed things, even with hip hop there, you know, like I know people who, how did you get into fucking Typical Cats, Aesop Rock, Madlib? Oh, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. Yeah. But man, on your journey in making music, why are you still doing it?
Because I love it. I love it. You know, there was a point where I didn't love it. You know, there was a point where I just hung it up. Like, this doesn't look like me anymore. You know what I mean? Like this, like you say, like from our era where we came up, and it just we got deeper into the 2000s. It just didn't look like I fit in anymore. And there was this place for me. So I decided to try different things. You know, like I strayed away and started to write music, different music, like pop, rock, everything. It's just, which was a great for me. You know, to see what was me and what wasn't me. And I feel like it's good for an artist to do that. At the time, I caught a lot of slack from the homies, like, what are you writing over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know, but it's different, and I like it, and it's dope, and some people like it. You might not like it, but some people like it. So it was cool for me to kind of go through an experience of, like, who am I? And I actually don't think a lot of young hip-hop artists get that chance, you know what I mean? Because it's either, like, gotta keep it real or, like, all this crazy stuff, you know, all these rules, fake guidelines that we got to abide by. So I broke those, man, and then I went through a phase of that, and here I am back. And when we get doubling back on the term I am hip hop, I kind of do agree, even though when I'm not walking around, with cargo pants, which I just got a pair.
Hey man, don't just cargo pants. I'm about to put some on.
Yeah. Shout out to Hell yeah. But I really do believe that. So when I was writing all this stuff and stepping outside of what I'm naturally good at, I carried hip hop with me anyway. So everywhere I go, I am hip hop. Whether I still add myself into a blues track, which you're gonna hear elements of some hip hop cadences in there somewhere. You can tell. So I do believe that in a way, even though to this day that I am hip hop no matter where I go and what I do.
Yeah. I'm still heavy on that too. Like the reason I ask why you still do it is partially because I lost the passion to kind of really participate in it myself too, for a variety of reasons. But it also goes back to kind of the era we came from. Like a lot of, when kids were growing up, they want to be basketball players because they like playing basketball. They want to get rich off of basketball. And of course, there were a lot of us that were like, yo, I want to rap so I can, like get people hype on my music, but also like make money. But we didn't really, like a lot of the cats I knew, we weren't like, yeah, I'm going to blow up, because we just didn't think that blowing up with this type of hip hop music was even an option, because it's not what the mainstream was leaning towards. Right. The era we were growing up in is the Jiggy era. Yeah. You know what I mean? Shit started getting shiny. Shit started getting opulent. It went from, it's the first of the month, I'm happy to get, these government checks, to I got all the money in the world and y'all is bitches because you don't.
Yeah.
And so, like, now, obviously, I imagine that in your creative process and as you're making music, you're not making music to be like, this is going to get them. This is going to be the one that puts me on the charts, or they're going to notice me and recognize that I got a lot of things to say too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's the wrong way to make music. And I had to learn that. So even through my the experience that I had with writing songs and like trying to just do something different, taking that energy in the studio is not going to get you nowhere, I had to learn that. I had to touch the fire on that and be like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't sound right. Or like, why am I doing this? Or like, So I had to learn that, experience that for sure.
Well, you said that you were doing a lot of like placements and things. So if it's not too much, I was curious, like, what is your profession now? Are you still working in music?
I'm rapping now. I'm back at it.
Okay.
I'm back out on the
fire.
On the road. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm back out on the road and doing shows and making that traditional boom bap, going in and doing what I love. You know what I mean? For sure. And I'm very much in phases. Right now you're catching me in a phase where I'm kind of like, you know what? I tried that. That's not for me. I'm going back to what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it.
Bad. You still making beats and music?
It's been a minute since I've had enough time to make any beats.
Oh, because you a new dad, huh?
Yeah.
How old is your child now?
She's a year and a half now.
Congratulations, man.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
Crazy,
congratulations.
Yeah, but I'm still DJing like as much
every
as I can.
every day type of shit. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little bit wild trying to balance life.
I'm 54 now. So it's not like staying out all night drinking is not as easy as it used to be.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, I was hella drunk. And I was like,
that's right. I remember that.
That's fucking quiet. So come here, let me tell you, this is a fucking legend. Come talk to me real quick.
Last time I saw him too, I was really drunk.
That was yesterday, though, right?
Yesterday. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, man.
No, but I've been lucky enough to, tight, just staying relevant for 25 years as a party. We still get a lot of people showing up, and with my own personal DJ career too, is just staying relevant and I've seen 31 years here in Tokyo, just so many generations of kids that come through and they're there every weekend, and then you start to not see them so much, and they're like 30 now, or maybe they got a job or they got a kid, they stop coming, but then there's somebody else, this other crew that's gonna be there all the time, and then they start to disappear. And I've probably seen 10 generations of really, customers come through.
It's really interesting to think about, because of my Japanese is kind of limited. I don't really delve a lot into a lot of the Japanese rappers because number one, for a big part of it for me is kind of like what are they saying, and does it align with kind of like something that I feel is appropriate? That's one aspect of it. Another thing, I mean, I like the cadence, but the way Japanese rappers sometimes sound when they rap it in more conventional style, it doesn't please my palate type, you know. But I wonder. What are your thoughts on? Because you're Japanese. He Japanese now, bro. Yeah. You Japanese.
Fluent, and I know everybody who's rapping over here too.
I mean, and on top of that, like you speak Japanese more than you speak English.
Yeah,
this
true.
is
true.
probably you're probably happy he came through. He's like, oh, he used English.
With Omni here this week.
Yeah. So like, what do you think about the kind of the rap scene
in the
out here?
90s? I was kind of where you're at with Japanese rap. It was like, they're doing their thing. It's cool, but I'd rather be listening to like, Americans rapping proper. Not to diss anybody from the 90s over here, but the level just wasn't up there, I felt like. But the new shit, there's something about that new rap that lends itself to Japanese, like the way Japanese language is structured, or the syllables hit. Because you can listen to some young like 20-year-old Japanese cats and put on a Migos track right after that, and put on 2 Chainz, and then go back to some Japanese shit, and it's all on the same level. It feels like. I listen to there's a few cats out here who I call homies, and other cats that my cousins, my homies work with, and I'm like, oh, those fools are dope. You guys vouch for them, so I listen to it. I'm like, I kind of feel like Japanese rappers are coming into their own identity, in a way, like. When you listen back to the 90s shit, it's like, oh, okay, these guys want to be like New York rappers. And then you get to like 2000 stuff, it's like, oh, they want to be like kind of like Puff Daddy.
Like Dipset type of, sounding rappers. But over time, with all the changes in the subgenres and all these type of things happening in the general music industry, like these Japanese rappers are starting to come into themselves sonically and like vocally.
Yeah, I think it's about your influences merging to you don't recognize them, right? So I think at this point they're like, off onto they found themselves in their lane, and it's just it's evolving, and I love it, man. Quietstorm's putting me up on stuff in the car that's crazy that I'm like, whoa, and the language is not anything that is slowing me down from liking it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I used to like Arata back in the day. He was like the first Japanese rapper. You know what I mean? It's like, of course, like he's fucking tight. But I'm just not so close to the scene in that way to really.
We just put out an Omni track, an IAMOMNI track last week featuring Twiggy, a OG Japanese rapper.
Yeah, I know Twiggy.
It's up on
He
Spotify
was on some of your
and
works.
iTunes. Yep.
Okay. I've seen him perform a couple times.
It's up on Apple Music and Spotify and YouTube now.
You're homies with Omen, right?
Yeah. He was out here like January.
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen him since maybe like a year ago. Well, he came out here with the Snow Goons, DJ Illegal, a while ago. But yeah, like there's a lot of cats that I like out here. Experimental cats, strange cats, trappy type cats, fucking drill type cats, and it's all really good and interesting music. How do you feel about like current artists? Are you listening to a lot of new cats, or what do you think about the mainstream?
There's like a time and place for it. I respect it. If I'm in the club, throwing some Future. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to have me a drink to that. But I'm not waking up at at 8 a.m. listening to Future, but or in the morning. But there's a time and place for it. I respect all kind of music. Like, I love it all. I can find the beauty in any kind of music. So I travel around and I hear different languages all the time, and a lot of different hip hop scenes. I like to really get involved in the scene. So I'm really open to a lot of different sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's 50 years of hip hop this year, I think is what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
August 11.
Sounds right.
Dang, bro. It's wild to go back and reminisce, and I especially love being around cats like y'all because I feel like the kind of segment of hip hop that I come from, even though there's a through line to the cats I'm listening to now. When I listen to Rap Ferreira, Milo, I'm like, oh, that's he's a fellowship. He's like probably the last Bloodian. Bus drivers still dropping shit. Aesop Rock, I had a conversation with Alaska Adams from the Adams fam the other day, and he's still doing it. And it's like this of the giant tapestry that is considered hip hop in the globe, including all elements, graffiti, and all these things. The niche of that underground independent scene. That shit is kind of small. It's very small. You know, there's, you know, somebody will know Merce, but you might be like, you know who Lucky is? You know who Scarab is? And they're like,
Picasso.
you know, you know, like Basic MC. I fucking love his voice so much. I just want more music from him. Yeah. Just the way he sounds. I'm just like, I want more, but you know, you know what I mean? The way his vocal inflection like pronounces every syllable, he's just dope to me. And I kind of like I kind of feel sad sometimes when I think about how a lot of people are not championed within the culture. That's why whenever I see somebody who I know that's dope, I'm grabbing Mega flowers. I'm giving them flowers. That's why when I ran to Rob, I was drunk as shit and I didn't care. I was like, come on, hold on. Like, come here. Hey. Yeah, because my cousin was there and he don't know you. And he's making music out here and he's doing shit. And then my homie was there and he don't know you. And I'm like, I understand that you might know Merce, but you guys don't really understand, like, there's a lot of history that happened around this dude that is branched out into the timeline that is kind of important. And a lot of the people that we were around and a lot of people that we've rocked with are those type of guys. Like, I was listening to your shit and it's just like, bro, you got Micah 9. You got Aceyalone. You know, you've got these guys on your album, and people don't really know that Micah 9 is like the Forrest Gump of fucking hip hop. What he's done, what he's influenced, people just don't know. And I'm not saying that he needs to be on a top 5 all-time list objectively, but I'm not arguing if somebody puts him on there because shit, it's the fucking guy.
And if someone did, it would definitely raise an eyebrow and make you look at him like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a special person to kind of, you know, recognize these cats as being great. And definitely Mike and I should be in top 5. You know, the funny thing, man, New York, when they came up, they had cameras on them. It was a hip hop scene that had cameras. So it's the same thing if, you know, LA underground hip hop scene had cameras and was given a bunch of money to produce a bunch of great content. You know what I mean? So that's the only difference is that I believe in New York when you have the Nas and the Biggies, and that's why we have so much history and so much to you know, take from.
Yeah.
I think these other things, the only thing that was lacking, which they should never compare themselves, is the fact that there was an industry behind that that time era. You know.
Yeah, you know, what they were doing, and it's crazy because it does ripple out, though, because, like, if you're like, the Good Life Cafe is responsible for so much shit in culture that people didn't even realize that they were picking up. You know, Bus Driver's dad, he was the producer for The Parkers, Moesha, the show South Central. He was a producer for Crush Groove. And if you go back and you watch Moesha and shit, like, where would they go? They'd go to the African, like the proud black owned business that sold African food. And then on the weekends, they would have fucking poetry, people in there talking, building, doing rap shit. Bus Driver makes an appearance on that shit with, I want to say like Nigga Fish or Riddler or somebody. They're in there being all weird, and it's just like, that's on Moesha. You know what I mean? That's Brandy. That's Ray J. That's that line of connections. Like, somebody went back and watched Moesha and like and then, like, you know what I mean? There's a Ray J sex tape now. It's like yeah, but the way that the kind of greats ripple out and don't get recognized is something that always irks me. And that's kind of like, I feel like my passion in hip hop culture now is just to kind of keep that conversation going and kind of look at it, the material conditions of that shit.
First time Omni came out here was in like 2004 or 5, probably, right? With BLX, you know, it was like 2001. 2001 was it?
Wow.
2001.
Fuck.
That's you had just graduated high school?
Yeah, just graduated. It was 2 days after 9/11.
Oh, you're right.
Oh shit.
So we were supposed to leave 9/12 and we couldn't leave till 9/13 because the flights opened back up. So then we ended up being Quietstorm. I want to say 9/15.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
9/15, 2001. Yeah. And immediately started doing shows.
Is this the first time you've been back?
Immediately.
Since then?
No. Many times after.
Okay.
Yeah. First time back in Tokyo since actually 2004. But I think I've done some stuff around Tokyo, but not back in Tokyo. So this is a reunion for Tokyo since about 2004.
Wow.
There's a label called Mary Joy over here. They're still around. They're still doing.
I've heard of them.
Like new shit now, but they started bringing the legends over. Tom and Corey came over in '97, maybe. Stayed at my place for a month and a half, and that's when we made some of those records together. They went back and formed the legends after that. So that's when they made the Owl House, the whole one. They all moved in together.
Hey.
Then Mary Joy started bringing them out for about once a year, and it just kept getting more and more. Like first it's just Tom and Corey, the Mystik Journeymen too.
Yeah.
Then it's like Merce is there and Grouch is there, and then Eli comes over the next year. It's like all of a sudden my house is like packed. We had Elda Sensei. We had like 8 or 9 people staying on my floor at one point.
Yeah, that's got to be the wildest time. Sounds incredible.
Crammed in there like sardines.
Yeah, it's Tokyo too.
But then,
so yeah,
Omni starts joining that whole movement. Yeah, around 2001, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing shows at like Liquid Room in Shinjuku, and that's when we started recording for my album. Did the Bang the Drum track and shit like that.
Yeah.
Got them to come over for the release tour for that, and we were touring around.
Hell
We went
yeah.
down to like Nagoya and Osaka, and the new
Fire
Liquid Room.
tour.
And,
Yeah, that tour was
we had
fire.
Twiggy and Eli and Tommy was over here with us too.
Tell me about, I've been in Tokyo since 2013.
That's a good 10
All
years.
right.
Huh?
I mean, since
All right.
2013.
All right.
Tell me about old Tokyo. Where
To me-
you was just a young mustache and you was out here. And,
To me, it hasn't changed at all.
Yeah?
Because I've been changing too with it.
Okay.
And, it's obviously changed quite a bit, but and even now, I find myself in situations all the time where I realize I'm the only foreigner. I'm the only non-Japanese
yeah.
person in the spot, whatever it
Yeah.
is. That happens every week to me. Basically,
Yeah.
that's where I end up. That's my my pocket. I know some other DJs over here that they're surrounded by foreigners all the time, right? So it just depends. That's where. So back in '92, even. That's where I was. Nobody spoke English. I was in this.
How was the drug culture back then? I heard
drug culture. We don't want to talk about that.
Well, I mean, I don't want you to give specifics, but back in the day, like they had like the brawn drinks that people were taking. Also, I heard that psychedelic mushrooms used to just
They used
be
to
like
be legal. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah?
have the laws set up right.
Huh? Has
like,
the party scene changed because of that?
In
at all?
general, like when Cypress Hill came out, and it used to be like really cool to just look fucking fucked up, right? I was like, oh, he looks so stoned, because I was like, yo, weed.
Right.
So just the vibe was different. Now it's like, what is that? What is he on? That dude looks fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
grow up, dude.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Get a life.
But then everybody else is drunk as shit. So,
Yeah, I know.
it's a nice trade off. Yeah.
So the whole, even I think in the States, and well, I don't know, but just in general in hip hop.
You think
the
that
vibe has changed.
Japanese youth are more welcoming to foreigners now, or has it always kind of been about the same?
I think the language barrier's getting maybe like 1%,
Closing a little bit?
1% smaller. Still,
I feel that.
a huge thing, but I think people are more. It kind of clicked that they got to learn how to communicate with the rest of the universe. There's a whole world out there. So I think a lot of kids are trying harder to communicate with people, which makes it a lot easier. I think if you don't speak Japanese, I'm not sure, but yeah, back in the day there were no foreigners over here. There were obviously somewhere, but I never saw nobody.
Yeah.
Even in Nakameguro, my neighborhood, I was the white guy in Nakameguro.
That's why you got ownership of that shit.
Yeah, I'm the original
Boom.
white guy with the
Yeah.
beard in Nakameguro.
I had to put my foot down in Ikebukuro.
All right,
even because all the Chinese cats, this is the fastest growing Chinese community
All
in
right,
Japan right now.
all right.
And I was like, yeah, make me a cultural ambassador.
Yes.
And they sent me business cards. And I was
Oh,
like,
shit.
Yeah. So I'm not leaving, luckily my apartment rent has gone up several hundreds of dollars, but they kept ours rent controlled.
shit,
So I've been lucky for the location
That's
because
dope.
I ain't
It's a
making
good
money
spot.
like that.
Yeah.
This is all right for, my daughter about to beat me up because she wanted her own bedroom. And I'm like, but daddy's got to record with rappers. Don't you understand? I am hip hop. Yeah, but that's dope. How have you been finding Tokyo, man? Not necessarily is it different or anything, but what's your experience been?
Man, it's always it's magic. That's the only word I can say. It's magic. You go out, Storm explained it well the other day. He was like, man, you can go out in the town and your life can change, in one hit of the corner. So, that's how I am. I try to get out and go places I never go to and walk into bars I never been, and then we stumble upon stuff, new things all the time. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of experiences that are coming back. Because I remember leaving Storm, like when we were staying with Storm back in during the tour time, 2004. I would leave his house. Yeah. As a funny shit, I used to stay at Storm's and watch every Soprano DVD he had. And I used to get baked and watch Soprano, and then I'd get up and go into the town and then just walk around, and it's like raining and the vibe is set. It's crazy, and I'm by myself, and I'll go into a bar and see like this geisha show, and I'm sitting there. No one knows who I am. It doesn't even matter. I'm sitting in the back just watching this culture just unfold in front of me. So I'm getting those vibes back again now. You know what I mean?
He's giving me restaurant recommendations in my neighborhood now.
Yeah, I'm kind of bad at that myself. I can stick to my little spots, but I love this city, man. Like, I'm probably gonna, I'll be talking about. Yeah, I've been here for 31 years. Like, I don't think I'm leaving, man.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't.
All the places that I used to love back home are not even close to the same anymore. And I've actually lived in this apartment longer than I've stayed in any other single residence in my entire life. And I feel. Even with the language barrier, because my Japanese is still pretty trash, I don't ever really have to use it with work or anything. And so I haven't leveled up past the simple, casual shit. And even with that, I'm just like, bro, this place is so incredibly safe to raise a family. They've got the social safety net is just a little better. And man, you look at, when we were kids, in Inglewood, you couldn't wear British Knights, you couldn't wear blue, you couldn't wear red, you couldn't wear black, you couldn't wear Raiders gear. They got you going to school in purple, hoping that you're good. You know what I mean? Like, don't mix me up. Like I remember it's humiliating. Like at the public pool, I got my Converse weapons because you couldn't wear it. I got my Converse weapons stolen from the Inglewood pool and had to walk home barefoot on them hot ass asphalts. I'm running in people's grass between the things, and it's just like, yo, over here, no joke. Yeah. You could literally send, a woman out in a bikini at 3:00 in the morning to walk 2 blocks to the convenience store, and she'll come back safe. Yeah. That's the thing I love about this place, man. Also, I mean, that's one. Fucking love this place. Yes, yeah, man.
Absolutely. And the scene, everyone's supportive. They work together. There's no egos. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's important, man. You see, I always champion that when I go and I see a scene working together and championing each other, because that's not what we had in LA. It was kind of like, everyone worked together and championed each other, but this is like.
They also thought it was a combat sport. Like,
it was very competitive. You know what I mean? Very competitive.
Yeah. That's also here. No matter what you like, you can find like a rich community of it.
That's true.
You like for a long time I was going almost like strictly to beach shows, and it's just like, damn, like I've like there's a guy with a 404 and he's playing like these lo-fi hip hop beats or some variation of, and it's just the same dudes every weekend chilling. You smoke a couple cigarettes with them, you drink a lot, toss a lot of compis, and I was like, damn, the hip hop scene out here is kind of weird. Like, all they do is make beats. They're like, no, there's like, you want to go to the rappers? Like, that's over there. And it's like, shit, the breakers are over there. And it's like crazy how, and one thing that's really dope too, and I'm sure you've met like a lot of really famous people that you didn't think that you would ever have the opportunity to meet. Yeah. This shit is crazy, the proximity, bro. Like, I've had, famous cats on my show, and I think they only did it just because it's like, oh, they hip hop in Tokyo? I don't care. Ali Shaheed Mohammed, fucking Marley Marl. Like, I've had some cats like in this studio, and it's just like, word.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, even the reason I was able to travel the world is because there's a thread. There's a hip hop. I was traveling before MySpace or social media. You know what I'm saying? So like, just saying,
man was putting out Yahoo Maps.
A good example, yeah, man. Like, oh, you're hip hop, I'm hip hop. We have the same values, understandings, rules, respect. And that was
ethics,
ethics, everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we do a song together, you put my name as feature on the end, right? Like, what I'm saying? There's like, an understanding and respect for each other. So it allowed us to get over that, like, hump, break that ice quick,
Yeah, word. I love talking to y'all, so I'm just going to drag my feet on it. You good on time? I know you got.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to play. I do want to play the track. But let me see if I can formulate another question in my mind before we go on to share some of your music. And I also have a bunch of random questions that I'd like to ask rapid fire for the both of you. Let me see here. Yeah, I didn't write too many questions about anything in particular because I just wanted to get to know you. If I could bring it back to Japan, though, of all the so you're going to be performing some rap joints, some songs at the Tight Anniversary.
Absolutely.
Okay, what is your kind of perception on a Japanese crowd that might not be able to understand your lyrics? How you feel about that?
Well, I know now that they are completely intrigued, inspired, in the moment, trying to understand, what you're doing up there, what you're telling them to do. They're trying their best. They love it. They love hip hop. They love what you're doing. And when you're up there, it might get a little bit, you might get frustrated with but they are just completely. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. From their point. You have to ask them how they feel about it. But to me, I'm completely understood that, like for instance, you'll see. Here's an example. We did a show the other day, and I'm up there rapping, and they're wide eyed and hands up, and then after they'll come and tell you like. You are a really good rapper. This is something told to me verbatim. Like you rap really good, but at the same time, you wouldn't get that energy while you're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but so I look at it as like as any other crowd that's just not there, just doing a drunk. They're actually paying attention.
Word.
Yeah.
You also got a really dope voice, so that helps too. Yeah, his voice is pretty dope on wax. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons.
Wax.
Yeah. The regular shit kind of low key. Like I'm not impressed. The breath control is lacking. No, nah. Like your voice sounds good. One of the reasons I didn't really stick with rapping, the only freestyle, is just because I was like, my voice don't sound dope on wax to me. Yeah. It's like it took me a long time to even want other people to hear my music because of that.
My voice is never comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying? I think no. People tell me it all the time, but I don't hear it, man. It's always aching to hear my voice. That's weird.
Do you have any favorite cats that you listen to right now? Both of you?
Yeah, I mean, he's the DJ. I don't listen to too much music, man. I still listen to the same 5 songs from the 90s, bro. I swear to God.
93 till infinity.
Yeah. I was listening to the Cool Like That. Recently. Right. But, yeah, man, there's a few artists that inspire me. I like those legacy artists, man, that had edge, that said, fuck, that did it that did it, with edge. And for example, I'm talking about like Kurt Cobain's, Tupac's, really into Tricky, which is a homie of mine, longtime collaborator.
Shout out to Tricky.
Yeah, man. And, cats like that, and maybe a few more. I'll even throw Sade in there. It's not, I mean, not with some edge, but someone who stayed, that does what she wants. Lauryn Hill, you know what I'm saying? Like is influenced by this pop culture industry type thing and decided to do their own thing. Andre 3000, that makes a statement like, I'm not putting out any music. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. I like those artists.
He was just out here.
I know. On the deal, right? He just came out.
Somebody saw him playing his flute or whatever he had on the street. Like Peter Pan, just killing it. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. How about you? Who you been spitting lately? I mean, besides the shit that
I'm always keeping up on. Well, one of the things that originally, like in 83, when I first heard Rocket and Sucker MCs, and I was like, I never heard. What is that? I was like, what is this? Something you never heard before. And every album that came out after that, when De La came out, it's like nobody heard nothing like that before. They had their own world. Tribe comes out, X Clan comes out, and Public Enemy comes out. So that was one of the things originally that I just loved about music, was like it's this totally new experience all the time. Something so fresh, and something that you think about actually when you start making shit too. It's like, how do you come up with that shit? How do you, with something that nobody's ever thought about before, something that a whole new world So that's what I love about hip hop. I think is one of the big things. So when when Gucci Mane started coming out,
I remember you a Gucci Mane fan.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I haven't felt this since the first 50 album. It was like, it's like, whoa. Yeah. And so and when I got into that, then I could start listening to dubstep all of a sudden, because it seems like that South vibe. You just put more hi-hats in it, and then it's British. It's like dubstep now. Once I got into that, then it's like it spreads. I could start to like digest pretty much fucking anything. Chicago footwork and Jersey club shit. So, and that when you're at a party and it's getting crazy, you want to put on some like faster stuff, some Jersey club or some say like drum and bass even. And so
during Corona, I'll listen to a couple of your sets on SoundCloud.
Thank you,
yeah,
bro.
you're always real dope.
I was doing a weekly live thing out of my place for like probably 20 weeks in a row or something during the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I love the new hip hop. I love like we're talking about Japanese cats. There's like this guy called Moni Horse. It's got Moni Horse in Japanese, right? Moni Horse and Leon and A-Witch is a female rapper that I'm fucking with.
I've met her once or twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's
dope.
killing it, yeah.
She got that song with Anarchy that I like a lot. One of them.
A lot of good tracks, yeah. So I like
she Okinawan. Shout out to Okinawa.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okinawa.
I know you real hip on like shit that sounds great on club speakers and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still a headphone cat because we ain't got cars out here, so I just be like,
absolutely. I say one of my favorite tracks to this day is Twiggy and Quietstorm.
Be Quiet.
Be Quiet, bro. I'm talking about the cadence, the beat, the minimalism of it, and the cadence of Twiggy. Twiggy and the way he's rapping. Man, I think that might have influenced a lot of stuff we hear today.
That was early. That was
before that.
That was a straight.
Is that on Soda Mio?
Yep. Straight up.
Be Quiet.
You Be Quiet. Yeah. This is like what 2004.
Yeah, it's at 4.
Just an 808, strictly 808 beat in 2004.
Peep this flow though, right?
Yeah. He comes out like the Migos in 2004.
See, this is why I need to have a whip.
Yeah.
Feel that license plate shake. Yeah, this shit is hard. There's some real b-boy shit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You still be cutting like that?
Yeah. At the party. Skirt.
Yeah, they're like triplets, yeah?
Yep.
That was before this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Nobody was doing this shit. Kind of ahead of its time, right? I feel like the hip hop is kind of caught up to me now.
Yeah? Word. That's what's up.
Because nobody was doing this in 2004.
True that. Yeah.
I think we all want depth and simplicity, right? And this is a good example of that.
Oh, that's hard. Is that Axl Rose? Oh, okay.
It's a crazy train. The hit to this.
Yeah.
That's crazy train.
Okay. That bridge is hard. I just kind of want to go back and turn that bitch up. Yeah, that shit is tight. I'm telling, for the people who are just tuning in, man, Quietstorm's been putting it down for a long time. And it's not even just shit like this. It's like some of the real old underground type of, drum loop sample, but the combination is just sparks that beauty. I was looking at a video the other day, like how they reconstructing 93 Till Infinity. It's amazing how simple that beat is and how just that combination and the way it's cut, man.
Shout out to A+.
Yeah, man. If they don't play that at like my funeral or my wake or wherever happens, the battlefield, wherever I perish, I'm gonna be disappointed from the afterlife, mad. Like, come on, that should have been like the first shit you put on. But yeah, this is hard. Have you guys recorded any new tracks since you got out here? No. Busy.
This track that was like coming up.
Yeah.
Is
put that on.
This is all done before Omni got over here, but it's Twiggy, this rapper right now, Twiggy.
And DJ Grasshopper?
Yes. It's a beat that...
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is some real B-boy type of shit, too.
Keep it hardcore. Keep it hardcore. Gather the communal and commute. Still with my own news, down with me from the root. Chilling with my elbows out the window of the coupe. In a black hoodie, screaming hands up, don't shoot. We be in the city doing what you can't do. Then we hit the ground, touchdown, bust a move. Then we hit the lounge, door the rounds, give me two. On some look at me, look at me, look at you. Hell yeah, we don't party in the club, we on the roof. I in the back, running gas with the crew. Book a show, we on the way, count the loot. Pull up on them, get the bag and turbo boost. Rock a show, breakdown, regroup, and it's right back to chilling like we never left the stoop. Had a sauce on me dripping off the booth, hopped out, dropped a single and the CD came through. Fuck with me, that's fat, boy. My name on the scene, make mad noise. That real shit, yeah, we want that real shit. That's fat, boy, your name on the scene, make mad noise. And it's hardcore, keep it hardcore.
I'm gonna have to stand up in a minute. The B-boy in me can't really keep still. I'm like, damn, B-boy Omega Legs might come out, even with my old ass back. Man, I woke. Yeah, Omega Legs. That's my B-boy name. I want to say that's 96. What, yeah, I mean, I thought I was really doing it. Back then you could add legs to your B-boy name and be all right. Yeah,
Omega Legs.
Yeah, Omega Legs. Is Twiggy going to be performing at tomorrow night? I mean Saturday night?
Yes.
That's all you got. DJ Crush too?
Cats out the back.
And Reno's gonna be there too.
Bro, you're homies with Crush, yeah?
Yeah.
So, when I was growing up, I was like, yo, like one of the biggest names out of Japan was Crush.
The biggest
and,
name.
Right? Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
It was like Crush and Honda. Crush and fucking
Oh,
Honda. And it was just like, DJ Honda. And
I
it was
thought you
just
were
like,
talking about the car company.
oh, yeah. Crush.
It's like Crush,
and,
Toyota
yeah,
and
right.
Nissan.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much so.
Yokohama tires.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, like Crush and DJ Honda. Yeah, I've only like gave a peace bow to DJ Crush. I've never spoken to him. Does he speak English?
No. He kind of took me under his wing when I first got over here. Okay. He introduced me to DJ Yass, who's my partner for Tight. He kind of gave me that respect when I first got over here. That sort of gave me props for helping me to meet a lot of people. And
he's amazing, bro.
Dude,
he's still amazing. Still dope.
He's like 62, 3 maybe now.
For some reason, I be forgetting that y'all be old as hell. I turned 40 this year, and I still try to tell people they old. Nah, that's great, man. I know that it's an inspiration to me, to be honest with you, because I feel like when we was watching movies when we was kids, it's like when you see a 30-year-old person in a movie, they're like all tucked in and like, hey, it's time for me to do a regular life. And I feel like there's never going to be a day where I don't at least like look recognizably hip hop. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, yeah, I'm not
how I expected either.
Yeah,
I thought 30 was the end of the road too.
How old were you when you cut off your locks? Because you had those forever.
40 something.
Okay.
45, 43 something. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I had them for 8 years. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All the pictures I saw of you
hella
before I
itchy.
met you. Yeah, it's got to be kind of especially these summers.
That's one thing. When I cut them off, I wanted to. First thing I wanted to do was like scratch my head.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that another thing that's great about not having all that hair. When I walked out of the haircutting place, what do you call it? The barbershop. the wind hit the back of my neck, and I got like goosebumps all over my body. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I hadn't felt like a breeze on my head for 8 years. And, yeah, it felt so good.
Oh, that seems wild. I've never had my hair cut that short.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Or
he's
bald.
killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Yeah. I'm just.
Keep it simple.
I got the George Jefferson hairline now. I just keep it. I just keep it under control. Like I'm living my life real poorly with that. Like yo, this joint is another joint I was listening to from you called Warning Shots.
Yeah.
And you got an artist on here named Tori Wolf.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was Bjork at first. Sounds kind of Bjorkish. It's dope.
Yeah, she gets compared a lot, man. She has an amazing voice. She actually works with Premier. She did an album with DJ Premier. I think she was on his label. And she's infused into the hip hop scene. And Tricky just actually released this on his label in September.
Oh,
so
that's dope. Congrats, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you said that's your people?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Been working with him since I was like 18 years a young kid, man. And he's been influencing me to be great since that age.
Yeah, truly like a phenomenal outsider, complete original human being, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This shit's tight to me. You know, I'm a big Bjork fan, so when I heard this, I was like, this nigga's tight. Yeah, this is tight. Who produces?
Forward the Man, my engineer out of Los Angeles.
This shit sounds like, I feel like this is, I don't even know, this feels cinematic. You know what I mean?
Definitely influenced by my licensing journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, it's really dope, man. It's a pleasure to meet you too, brother. I really appreciate you coming through. I feel like we connected, we homies now.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna really try to make it out on Saturday night. What time? Y'all go all night.
We're on at 3. So Crush is on it too.
Yeah, I might have to, pump up Bike Tyson and just watch the show and leave before first train. Hey, this is Club Asia, right? So this is a quick bike ride. Yeah, that should be really dope.
Maybe just come through and take the last train home if you.
Say what's
miss
up.
Us, but we'll be there, so.
Yeah. Let me. I do want to ask a couple questions before I get y'all out of here, and let me put on some beats so we're not talking over rapping. All right, here we go. Both of y'all. I might have asked a few of these to you before, but hey, it's a new day. Favorite all-time MCs. You could say as many as you like, or one.
Mike and I, that's enough for me.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Perfect.
And you know what? You might not. This is funny. I'm gonna say Tricky.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about producer? This could be like executive producer or beat maker, whatever you think.
Tricky.
Okay.
That's dope.
Yeah.
DJ Crush for me.
Okay.
For real.
What's a perfect album? I mean, you don't describe it like it has good beats, but I mean like an album that you just love.
It's like, I'm real simple, man, and I only listen and support my homeboys. Like I don't see nothing but friends and family. I work with people. I've been working for 20 years plus still, and I think Nakamaguro is a perfect album. I think Tricky Maxing Kwai is a perfect album. I think I'm gonna pass it up. Quietstorm.
Can I make it difficult for you?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite Living Legends album?
Oh shit.
Solo, whatever. Yeah. You got one of those?
Yo, 4001 to me is burned into my head.
Word
just
up.
because that was my first. That was my first connection with them. That's just.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but then there's like the first 3 Melancholy Gypsy shit too. Oh no,
tough.
Yeah, and classic too. I was there for the recording for all that in Hawaii.
Okay. That's right. You guys.
So that's like just even seeing some of those songs come together like that.
So but what I'm asking you to do is to like choose your favorite baby.
No. Yeah.
Choose your favorite baby.
No.
On camera.
I was gonna say All Balls Down Bounce for like just thinking to me of an album.
Oh hell yeah!
That it really is. I could listen to.
Yeah. Hell yeah! Word. I like it. Favorite animal. Yeah.
Oh, cat.
Cats?
I'm gonna say cat.
Cat and cat. All right. If you could have any superpower, what superpower would you want?
X-ray vision.
That's real pervy. Out here, yeah, I feel that.
Because the last time I've tried to thought about that question was when I was like 8, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say teleport.
Teleportation.
Yeah.
If either of you could collab with any artist, living or dead, who would you like to work with?
I'm gonna say
Nina Simone.
I'm gonna say.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
That's hella good. Yeah. Pressure's on.
Miles Davis.
Okay. Hey, that's actually fire. All 4 of y'all should collab. Yeah, that's actually fire right
Can
there.
we use like artificial intelligence to make that happen?
Oh man, I'm concerned about that shit. I don't really want it to. I don't want it to be a thing.
Yeah.
What about if you were stuck on a desert island and you could have the music catalogs from any 2 artists, who would you choose? Like, this is, who let's just say that you are there for a while.
The whole catalog, right?
Mm-hmm. Meaning, I guess you could add remixes or whatever to all, you know what I mean? Like, if you get Dilla, you get, Quincy Jones, you get...
Tribe.
That's a tough one.
And Led Zeppelin, maybe.
That's a good balance to me. That's a
On
good
the
balance to me. You get all the other vibes that are missing from the Led Zeppelin work on the Tribe albums.
Although Sade would be a good fit too.
I'll probably go for it because it's family. I'm gonna go for Tricky and probably Massive Attack.
Wow.
Massive Attack. I mean, I'm not hating on it.
That's just gonna keep me peaceful.
Yeah.
Favorite convenience
Oh,
store.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, still rocking 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that.
I've been liking them
food is
more
good, yeah.
recently. I've been liking 7-Eleven more recently. I was a Family Mart guy for a long time.
I don't think Omni's gonna be able to answer that
Yeah,
question.
he's like the one with the alcohol in it. It's like, mini stop.
I'm ready for this. Is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, do you? Yeah.
Oh,
no, we're not done.
I thought you took me
favorite?
out
No.
First, we have to explain what a combini is.
Convenience store. Family Mart, 7-Eleven,
Lawson,
Lawson's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Has
is my
has
favorite?
anyone stuck out in your mind?
Oh,
yet?
They all have the same stuff?
Yeah,
right?
I know. That's what I
Like
thought.
I only go in there for beer. And
There's
those little
degrees of
triangles.
difference in
I know.
quality for certain things. The gentlemen like us, old timers, here. Okay.
They're barely different.
Were you disappointed that 7-Eleven didn't have Slurpees?
Not at all.
No, that's just a sugar, ice,
I'm
sugar
never mad
color.
that I don't get diabetes.
Yeah, I feel you. How do you like your water? Cold water or room temperature?
Room temperature.
Cold.
Cold.
Cold
I'm
as fuck.
cold gang too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm surprised you didn't say, "Hey, Mecca, it's getting cold in here," and I like you did because I was just like, "Yeah, please." Yeah, you know, when I record with other people, they be like, "Oh shit, yeah, my bad." Oh, okay. You all right?
You know what? I
Better
liked
than being
cold
hot.
until
Yeah.
I realized that cold water offsets your natural body temperature.
That's true.
Which can be unhealthy, and that's some LA shit, you know.
Yeah.
But
Y'all
other than that,
Bohemians. Okay. Hey man, is there anything else you guys want to get off or talk about? I don't really have much else to share.
I do tight, right? So we do tight at Club H. I also do another party called Living Room. At this place called Enter in Shibuya, and it's the first.
You moved from that other spot.
Contact closed down last September. They're tearing down the building, so they had to shut down the spot.
Wait, Contact is you were in another spot that was like a living
Originally,
room.
Yeah.
What was
That's
that
how
spot called?
That was called Unice.
Okay.
In Daikayama.
Yeah, that shit
That
was tight.
place changed owners and they changed the whole way the whole thing works. So that's when we moved to Contact, which is one of the biggest clubs in Shibuya, and we were doing it there once a month until they had to shut down Contact last September because they're tearing down all the buildings on the whole side of the street. Vision
Oh,
and
that's right,
Contact
that's
and,
right.
rebuilding that whole part of
Oh,
town.
they're tearing down Sound Museum Vision.
Yep, it's
Oh,
all
shit.
gone. Yeah. So
Damn.
they're gonna build like a big shopping mall there or something, I think. So yeah. So right now I'm doing a place called Enter in Shibuya.
Okay.
Then
Where is
we
that?
do it's you know where Lion is in Shibuya? Meijidori. It's
Okay.
in between Shibuya and Harajuku. Meijidori,
Okay.
Like in that direction.
Bet.
Miyashita Park is like across the
Gotcha.
street from there.
Okay.
Behind Tower Records. Like
Oh, okay. Bet. Yeah. Ah,
So,
okay.
we moved over there. We're doing the first Thursday every month there, so come through. We'll see. There's a good party every month, so I got usually get a rapper, at least one rapper on the bill, and then fill in the DJs.
You know, G Yamazawa is moving out here.
Who's that?
Oh, you're not familiar? Are you familiar with G Yamazawa?
Nope.
He's a North Carolina MC who's fairly noticeable. I wouldn't be surprised he got, a million followers or whatever, something like that. But he came from poetry background, but he makes hip hop music, and he blew up with a song called North Cac a while back. But he's really nice and dope, and he's moving out here. He's Japanese American, but I think his mom is yeah.
You put in G-Y and it comes
Yeah,
up.
G Yamazawa. Yeah, he's here, let me play you might like some. This is his old joint that he first blew up on. Yeah. But he's dope. He's moving out here.
Oh. Wow, shit.
It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause. I'm the law. It's the North Cat, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue
I like this already.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Not all of his music sounds like that, but this is the one that kind of.
I'm the truth, man.
Hook me up, man.
Yeah.
Connect
I'll
us
let
when
you
we
know.
get
Like,
back.
now that it's summer, I'm gonna get Bike Tyson going, get a little bit back on my health tip, and keep it moving. I should be out more, but I wasn't going out during all the COVID. I was just kind of like, I'll do a street hang, we'll kick it on the street. Because I'm also low pro broke like that, so I'm not trying to spend $7 on a drink, $20 to enter, yeah. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna definitely try to make it out this Saturday. I appreciate both of you guys so much just for the work the music that you've done, and also just for coming through to rock with me. And
Absolutely.
I'm gonna edit this up and get it pushed out, online by. What's today? Thursday. By tomorrow night, I think I should be able to put this shit out. Yeah, I'm gonna put it out fast.
Real cool.
We do got some cats this here in Tokyo that watch my show and listen to the show
We'll
still.
see you
So,
at Club Asia on
please
Saturday,
come through.
July 1st.
Yeah,
if
word
this
up.
makes it to you in time.
Hell yeah, I think it will.
That'd be
so,
dope, man. That'd be
man.
All right.
How about some social media? Where y'all at?
IAMOMNI.com spelled out IAMOMNIDOTCOM. Everything from there. You can also type in IAMOMNI.com URL, and you're gonna find me there too.
And I'm DJ QS on Instagram and Twitter. DJ Quietstorm.Tokyo. If you're on the web, that shit is tight.
Bro, your website is fucking ill. I remember last time you were here, I was like, bro, you need to do
gave
something.
me shit about that.
Yeah, I was like, you need to do something, update the Wikipedia page or something people need to know. And then I typed your name this morning. I was like, that shit is tight. Yeah, check out the website, links in the bio, man. Shout out Secret House Against the World, Tokyo Mega Late Show. Appreciate y'all.